Welcome, everybody, tuning in on a beautiful Wednesday evening, episode 101 of the Crypto Street Podcast. Been
Woohoo.
a crazy long journey. Not even a long journey, but an interesting journey, I should say. But happy to be here with you guys. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. Here, as always, with my two co-hosts, Dale. Dale, how you doing, buddy?
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm doing pretty well. Got a sick child, so wife conveniently happens to be out of town whenever my son gets sick. So running on some low sleep, but that's all right. We're ready to do this.
Yeah, we are. It's still very strange to me to start and be like, Dale, how are you? Instead of the other way around. But as always, got the homeboy Prince right here. So Prince, how are you doing, bro?
Boo. What's up, guys? It's cold up here. It's cold. It's winter pretty much. So I'm looking forward to getting out into LA next week and some nicer weather.
Definitely.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Our guest today, I think it'll be an interesting conversation, is Blake Rizzo of Tour de Crypto. Tour de Crypto, for anybody who doesn't know, is a charitable organization, or they're basically cycling across the country to raise money for charity, awareness. Blake is going to be here to tell us all about it, how the journey has been, ups and downs. So Blake, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess the first thing is just kind of give everybody a deeper understanding of what Tour de Crypto is, what your role has been, or I guess you could even start just background in crypto and how you got into the space.
Sure. I first started looking into crypto, and I played around, just kind of read some things, learned some things, and really didn't start investing until November. Thought this would come December, and then I've just been sitting here ever since, kind of, enjoying this bear market like everyone else. But one of the communities that I got involved with early on was the electro community. And that's how I met Jason Berlin, who's the founder of the Tour de Crypto. And he had always wanted to ride his bike across the U.S. as a personal goal. And we started talking, and he asked me if I wanted to get involved because he thought about riding across country to raise cryptocurrency awareness for charities. And I was like, sure, I'll be glad to help. And originally, he just wanted me to review some documents and things like that. I'm a lawyer by trade, and so he wanted me to check out some memorandums of understanding and whatnot. And before I knew it, I was neck deep in the Tour de Crypto, and we decided in a very short time period that we were just going to do this. This is probably something that you should plan for about 6 months. I think we had about 4 weeks, and it's just been an insane ride ever since then.
So Blake, let's kind of talk about the purpose of Tour de Crypto. I know you guys are trying to raise awareness. What's the main focus and main goal of this bike ride?
Yeah, it is to educate not only the public, but more importantly, charitable organizations on the benefits of accepting crypto, and to show them, not only its benefits, but how transparent it is. And we also want to show the world, how awesome the crypto community is. We're trying to change the narrative that, the crypto community is just, a bunch of drug dealers and terrorists and whatnot. And, show, show the world that, hey, crypto people are cool and they can come together for good causes and make a difference, make an impact. And so, that's really the goal, is to, at least this year, we've partnered with Hawk, which is the Houston Area Women's Center. And our goal is to raise $1 million worth of crypto for Hawk. But after this year, we plan to venture out into different bike routes, races, and expand our reach to different charitable organizations that are willing to get involved in cryptocurrency.
That's fantastic. So, I guess I should say or ask, what kind are you guys only particularly accepting, the bigger cryptos, or which ones are you focused on?
No, we actually we had that. That was a big topic of discussion originally. Um, this idea came out of the Electra community. And when it came time to put it all together, Electra said, well, we want to sponsor it. And we're like, okay.
Sure.
So we kind of came up with a game plan on what it was going to take to have, official sponsors. But then we decided to go ahead and open it up to any other coin that wanted to join and participate. I don't know if you guys know, but Ronnie Moaz is one of our sponsors. And, and originally he was like, I think y'all should stick with the big three, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. I don't want, as he said, a bunch of shit coins coming on and, just using you guys for free publicity. And I said, well, I'll tell you what we'll do is we will set up a threshold because, we didn't want to just let anyone come in because we're having to set up all these wallets at Hawk. Mm-hmm. And we didn't want to overwhelm them, obviously. So we basically said, any coin that wanted to participate needed to make a $1,000 donation to Hawk, directly to Hawk. And then, you can be a participating coin in the tour. So we have about 12 total coins that are participating. You can see them all on our website, but some of the ones that you're familiar with are, Digibyte, Electra, Horizon, which used to be, Zencash, I believe, and for Packcoin, Redcoin. There's a number of them out there that are participating, and so it's been a interesting experience. But the thing that people need to know is all of those wallet addresses are on the Tour de Crypto website, but also under the Hawk website, and all of those funds, 100% of them, go directly to Hawk in Hawk's own wallets that they maintain and control. So we have absolutely nothing to do with, the donations that go to the Hawk wallets.
Can you explain a little bit more about Hawk, the organization, and what they do, and just exactly what the money's going towards?
Yeah, absolutely. Hawk is, again, the Houston Area Women's Center. They have been in existence since the 70s. They have incredibly high Charity Navigator ratings for transparency and use of funds. They require about $7 million a year in donations. They get about $3.5 million a year from the government. Then they require another $3.5 million a year in donations. And, what they do is counsel, protect, and work with anyone that's been the subject of domestic or sexual abuse. They have a confidential shelter that costs them about $2 million a year to run. They have approximately 2,000 people a year, men, women, and children that stay at that facility. And they actually have a school within the facility so those kids can continue on with their education, while their parents are working through those issues and getting the help that they need. So it's just an incredible organization. They were just super excited to get involved in the project, which was completely different from most of the charitable organizations that we talked to originally. You'd be surprised, we're trying to tell people, hey, this is what we want to do. And our goal is to raise $1 million worth of crypto for you. Mm-hmm. And they just didn't want to have any part of it, and it was kind of shocking. But when we got to Hawk, they were super excited. They felt like this was something that, was on the cutting edge and that they needed to be a part of because they saw the potential, and they too believe that, this is something that's going to happen whether people like it or not.
How's the reception been, as you guys kind of go out there and, accepting crypto? How has the, general kind of reception been to that instead of the old, the normal dollars? Now we're going crypto.
Yeah, I think, we're doing a lot of interviews along the way, and we're stopping and talking to a bunch of different people. We have stops in like 16 cities, and everybody has heard of Bitcoin that we talk to. They know somebody that's either in it, that lost money in it, or is considering getting in it. Yeah. And so, but when you go further and tell them that, well, you can actually use this for different purposes. And, one of the things that we're doing is showing people how they can easily donate to charities. They don't really understand and grasp that concept. So we're trying to educate people as best we can on how easy it is, because, we've got perfect examples. I mean, Hawk is receiving donations from Australia, New Zealand,
wow,
India, Turkey. I mean, just all over the world. And so it's a great use case, and at the end of the day, we really want to put together a documentary, not only to show the guys on the tour, but, to show how the crypto community comes together for good. Jason likes to say mass adoption through good intentions, and that's kind of the focus of the tour.
What is the status of them? Like, where did they start? Where are they now? How has that journey been?
It's certainly been interesting. They started in New York. They actually went to a lighthouse there and put their back wheel in the water. They want to go coast to coast. So they took off from there. They've been going at it about 4 weeks now. They went down the East Coast through Philly, the Carolinas, Atlanta, and then cut through Alabama. And they just left Baton Rouge, Louisiana this morning. And they're on their way to Houston. And we actually have a really great event for them here in Houston with the Hawk executives. Ronnie Moaz is coming down. The Wild West Crypto Show is coming down. So we have a lot of great people that are going to be joining the tour on Sunday for a meet and greet. And I'm really excited about that.
And I see that you guys are planning on being at the World Crypto Coin Con event in Vegas on end of October, beginning of November. Do you guys have anything planned there that you're going to do?
Yeah, we are so happy to have World Crypto Con as a sponsor. We are their charitable organization that for this year's World Crypto Con, they've pledged 5% of their ticket sales, which will be a significant contribution. But the Concierge Club is one of our sponsors. They're out of Vegas, and they are having a party for us upon arrival. And then there's another gentleman who wants to have a party for us on that Thursday night, and we're still waiting on details of that. And then obviously the big crypto kindness party that World Crypto Con puts on is on Saturday night. So there will be a lot of events, but we're also going to have a booth. Ronnie was originally supposed to have a 10 by 20 booth, but he cut his in half to give us 10 by 10 space.
What a gentleman.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have a booth there set up as well. So I've been sort of busy trying to figure out what I need to populate that booth.
Not being a biker myself, curious to hear what these guys and gals have, encountered along the way on this bike journey, so to say.
Cyclists.
Yeah, well,
cyclists. There we go.
Yeah. The funny thing is neither one of them were cyclists to begin with. So this is all new to them. They trained for a few months beforehand, but nothing compares to getting out on the road and riding 100 miles a day, especially in hilly areas.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There have been some days where Jason he can't even talk to me. He's so exhausted. And then there are other times when, we've got some great stories. One day, Jovel, who's the other rider, he came upon a copperhead that struck at him. These New York boys, they're not used to stuff like that. So yeah, it's been interesting. Jason and I have an incredible relationship. I've never met him in real life, but we've certainly talked a million times and FaceTimed and on videos and whatnot. But I'm on his ass like every day almost. Like, dude, why don't I have this? Why don't I have that? Yeah, I know you're riding 100 miles a day, but come on, when you're done, I need content. I need video to put out. And so yeah, it was kind of funny. He did a video for me as he was riding into the Alabama sunset. As I said, just sort of buttering me up because I had been busting his balls pretty bad one day, about getting me some content that I can put out for everyone.
My wife, I don't know if anyone listening is familiar, but the state of Iowa has this big bike race every summer called Ragbri, and my wife always goes on it for a couple days. And I think this year she rode like 80 miles one day and like 60 the other day, and she about died. So she said, but so I can't imagine, Jason and Jovel doing 100 miles a day for what's the schedule here? It's
yeah, they're going to be going
2
through.
months.
Yeah, they're through November 12th in Huntington Beach. So,
jeez.
yeah, it's a haul. We're trying to
crazy.
plan some breaks, a day or two in between.
Yeah.
They just had a couple of days in Baton Rouge, and it's funny because I started looking at the bike route into Baton Rouge, and I realized that they were going to be like 5 miles from my parents' house. So I just called Mom and I said, "Hey, is it okay if 5 strangers come stay with you guys for a couple of days?"
I've never met them in real life, but I talk to them every day.
Exactly. I've never met them, but they're good guys. They'll be fine. And so yeah, they ended up.
I'm sure it would have went like that with my mom too.
So yeah, they ended up hanging out with my parents in Baton Rouge a couple of days, and then they, I guess it was Monday, they went to LSU and looked around the stadium, saw Mike the Tiger in his cage and whatnot. And as much as I was trying to tell them that they needed to go back to my parents' house and work on content for me, I got a text around 3 o'clock of a picture of them on the way to New Orleans. So I was just like, oh no. Because I had warned them. They had been talking about maybe going to New Orleans. And I was just like, please don't. I was like, it's just, let's save that for another day. But of course they didn't listen and they took off to New Orleans.
Jeez.
Have they encountered any disappointing things along the way? I guess if you were to do this all over again, is there anything you'd change?
Yeah, we put this together so fast. We didn't really have the opportunity to get, sponsors lined up, get a good team in place. Basically, we rented I don't want to say cheapest RV we could, but obviously this is coming out of our pockets originally. So they've got a small RV so that they're staying in, and when you put 5 people in a small RV for a couple of months,
it gets stuffy.
Yeah, it gets interesting. But yeah, I would really like to have more time to plan the next one, and we will, because now that we're involved in it. But we need to have a lot of things done before we leave, instead of having to do all this stuff while the guys are actually on the road. Because it needs to be, Jason just needs to be able to focus on riding,
absolutely,
and not doing everything else that he and I are trying to do. So putting a good team together, I think, will be most important.
Yeah. So, go ahead, Killer.
I was just going to say, I think part of that's got to be very nice for them, just kind of putting away distractions for a little bit, hitting the open road, enjoying the great outdoors, all that. So it's like, I think most people in their everyday lives wish they could do more of that kind of stuff. So in a sense, even though it's super challenging for them, I'm sure they kind of appreciate the freedom and sort of the serenity of doing it, I would think.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Jason would love nothing more than to just ride, and be out there. They are having a wonderful time. It is exhausting, but it's also very exhilarating. This is just kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity to be able to just ride a bike across the United States. I mean, they're going into places and meeting people that they never dreamed of. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, it is very surreal, enjoyable, and they're just having a blast doing it.
Has there been any moments where you kind of, something happens and you sit back and you just kind of look at it and you say, okay, this is, this is really worth it. And, you're like, wow, okay, this is so awesome. Has there been any moments in particular where you just kind of stand back and you go, wow?
Well, I think that the people that we've met along the way and how supportive and nice they've been is one of those things, because I mean, people that we've never met, that they've never met, have stepped up and got the guys an Airbnb rental for a night or two. When we were in Atlanta, they were having the start of blockchain week in Atlanta, and the head organizer for that event had the team on stage to open up the event.
Okay.
Another person in Atlanta opened their home to the guys, that we've never met before.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it's really nice to see people that are supportive and helpful. And, I mean, I've found that on crypto Twitter. There are a lot of people that are very supportive and helpful. And I think that's the best thing that we've seen, that, people are willing to do things that actually inconvenience themselves to help us out. So that's really nice to see.
That's something that always
Well,
like
I think
I was gonna say that tripped us out at the beginning too, where it's like, crypto's still small enough where you can have really, really affluent, important, quote unquote, people, that are more than willing to help you, more than willing to support you, give you more exposure, give you advice, all that sort of good stuff. It's pretty incredible to be a part of.
Yeah. I mean, we've got just, for instance, the whole deal with Ronnie getting on board. I mean, that was the weirdest thing. I had been on Twitter for about 9 hours on a Saturday, just promoting the tour, just talking and reaching out, just doing everything I could. And I actually caught him at a time, responded to a tweet of his. And the next thing I know, 5 minutes later, I'm on the phone with him for an hour. And at that point, he's like, I'm all in. I'm helping you guys. And I'm like, okay, and it's happened like that at various times. Just, yesterday, there's a young lady by the name of Nanu Burks, Nanuberks. Ken Bozak was wearing one of her shirts. And it was a really cool artistic Bitcoin shirt. And I made a comment, and I saw she was in Austin. So I reached out to her and I said, hey, you're in Austin. If you want to come to this event on Sunday, it'd be great. You can talk about your artwork and what you do in blockchain and et cetera. And the next thing I know, she's offering up one of her paintings to auction off for Hawk,
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's crazy to see how generous people can be with their time to help us in our mission.
Well, and Blake, I think you guys have something great going on. It benefits a good cause, so I'm really glad you took the time out to get on and join us and talk about Tour de Crypto. If you're listening, head on over to their website, tourdecrypto.com. They've got Twitter account, Instagram, documenting Jason and Jovel's journey. So, Blake, where if people want to donate or help out, how would you suggest that they reach out to you guys?
Well, like I said, all of the wallets are on our website, and on the Hawk website, there's a Support Us tab and then a Tour de Crypto link. So you can donate directly to Hawk through those wallets. If you would rather get something, Hodl Fuel is a sponsor. He is sending a portion of proceeds for any coffee purchase to Hawk, and then Bit Ninja Supply has all of the Tour de Crypto gear. And he's actually donating 100% of proceeds to Hawk. Yeah, so there's several ways that you can help us out and help Hawk out.
Cool. Yeah. So the website, if you want those wallet addresses, is tourdecrypto.com/donate. So head on out if you can. That'd be fantastic. It all goes to a good cause. Prince Killer and I want to wish Jason and Jovel a safe journey as they are almost halfway through the bike ride. So wish them well. And, thanks for everything you guys do to help the Hawk process and everything. So Blake, we appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you very much, man. This is the kind of stuff we need. We need to help spreading the word. So I really appreciate you allowing me to come on.
Yeah, no problem. So, Blake, you're welcome to stick around. We're going to kind of chat about the markets here for wrap this up and touch on that for about 5 minutes. Looks like we were just chatting before we got on, and Bitcoin took a major dump, down about $200. About. So, what are you guys thinking?
Oh, it's just bouncing around. There's I think it's still in this range zone though. So that's the thing, right? Like, yeah, this dump is kind of, vicious violence, but at the same time, it's still in this zone that we've been in for the last few months, really. So 62 is still a pretty significant level, and we're not below that. So for now, you just kind of watch that level to me, and that's it. You just keep it simple, right? 62 is the level I'm watching right now.
On my chart, we are below 62.
Well, okay, and this is the tricky part, right? Like, I'm always watching Finex. Now, Finex has got it's got quite the premium the last little while.
Yeah.
And so it's still above, but because all my charting I do on there, which is interesting, the premium that they're going with right now, it's kind of significant. I'm not going to really make any kind of conclusions on why it's going on, why not. There's some stuff about people not being able to get US dollars out. I guess there's some problems going on, but you know what, I'm really not the guy to be talking about that either, because I don't know enough on that topic right now. But so I know there's just some speculation, maybe there's that premium because people are trying to get their money off the exchange. Who knows really what's going on with it? We've seen Bitfinex have premiums in the past quite often, so to me, it's not new, but is there something going on? Who knows, right? So yeah, it's just kind of interesting right now to just watch what's going on. I think there's a little bit of fear right now out there.
Oh yeah.
What's going on with Tether, what's going on with Bitfinex. There's just a lot of uncertainty, but I don't really like to allude in and make speculative kind of talks about what I think is going on, because I honestly I don't know what is going on, and I think unless you really know, it's like, just leave it.
I just feel like with Tether, it's like if they were up to, like, I'm sure they're kind of up to sort of shady business, but like if there was anything that was like breaking like a law to the extreme degree worthy of prosecution, I think they would have gone under by now, because Bitfinex has been under the radar and Tether has been under the radar for a solid like 2 or 3 years. Yeah. And for a while there, they were accepting U.S. customers. And I mean, the U.S. like wants a reason to go after something like this, and they had one because they accepted U.S. customers for a long time. And so I just think I got to think like if they were really up to serious shady business, we would have found out by now.
And they have the audits too, don't they? So I mean, I would just think that something would probably have shown up in those, but.
With my timing, tomorrow morning we'll see like U.S. government subpoenas Bitfinex over Tether. Like,
well, and it's always
so true,
right? Like, you can't say it'll never happen. There's always the chance. So this is what I mean. Like, there's just a lot of I don't know. The factor of I just don't know, and so that's where you can go and try and draw these speculative kind of conclusions on what you think is going on, but really until because there's been so many times in the past where it's like, oh, you got to get your money off of this exchange right now. They're going under. It's all bad. And then, a week goes by and the exchange is fine. Everything's going on as normal, right? Like and it's just a scare event and it does nothing, right?
People used to say that about Poloniex when Poloniex was having like slowdowns during margin trading. They'd be like, oh, there goes the exit scam. Get your money off of Polo. It's like 6 months later, they get bought by Circle, like a major U.S. tech unicorn. It's like,
that's what I mean, right? Like, it's very easy.
There are a bunch of crappy exchanges.
Yeah, it's very easy to kind of drum up the scare material, especially in crypto, because I as much as the blockchains are transparent, there's also a lot of stuff that just is not transparent about crypto. And I think Bitfinex been saying they're going to do audits, and the audits are kind of like, okay, what's going on here? And so it's just there's a lot of reasons that you could be scared, but I think it's best to just just don't run to any conclusions, because we don't actually know anything for sure. So,
speaking of the whole exit scam thing, what did you guys saw that tweet about Yobit?
That was the most Yobit thing I have ever seen.
Let's touch on that before we wrap up.
Yeah. So
they said that they're gonna
pump a random coin. I think it's like it'll be coming up probably tomorrow in the morning. And it's going to be like they're going to buy about 1 Bitcoin's worth every like minute or something of a random coin, and up to 10 BTC worth. And they're like, posting this on their Twitter account, emailing their, users. And
they have that countdown
this is like,
on their website.
All I could think is, this is the most Yobit thing I have ever seen. Like
Yobit has been hacked by John McAfee.
If if any exchange was to ever do this, it would be Yobit. So it's not a surprise, right? Like they used to have the ponies on there where you could like bet on ponies, digital ponies racing around. Like this is Yobit, right? Like
complete degenerate house.
A coin will do
Twitter
a transition
over
chick
in a bikini.
Yeah. Like there'll be a coin that'll do a transition over to a new blockchain, and they won't even update it to the new blockchain for like months on end. Right? Like they just do not care. So if anyone is surprised about this, do not be. This is Yobit at its finest. Like
yeah, they have their header on Twitter has this chick in a bikini basically taking her top off.
Yeah, this like. And they've been around forever. They've been around so long, It's like this is just Yobit. They do not care, They just do whatever they want to do.
If you have not seen their Twitter header, please check it out immediately. They're at Yobit Exchange on Twitter.
Yeah,
I just looked it up. This is something else. It doesn't make any sense.
With that being said, I would never recommend anyone actually sending a dime to that exchange because you just never really know if you're going to get your money back again. So, it's Yobit at its finest, right?
Here's the tweet that is causing all this. Yobit pump in 22 hours. This was 12 hours ago. It is now 9:30 Central Time. We will buy one random coin for 1 BTC every 1 to 2 minutes, 10 times. Total buy amount, 10 BTC. Just crazy. With that, we're going to wrap up. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Episode 101. It is the 10th of October. The planets have aligned, as Prince says, and dump is incoming.
The planets are not favorable.
The planets have aligned.
We'll see, though. There's a lot of people who think it's voodoo and all that astrology stuff. But, if you're into it, they ain't looking too sharp. So,
all right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Reppy, keep doing you, buddy. Don't let the free world bring you down. Prince Killer, Dale, we're out. Tip your waitress. Peace out, guys.